How's it going, everyone? So, I've been looking for a new air compressor for a little while, and I've been looking at reviews, probably like you're doing if you're watching this video on this one, and I could not find any reviews of this guy. This is the Harbor Freight McGraw 21 gallon, 175 psi, oil free upright air compressor. And I was looking at this one. I was looking at California Air Compressors 10 gallon model and also the DeWalt 15 gallon, which are both, those other two are about $100 plus or minus more. So with those other two being more money, it's not that the price point was the issue to me. It was the purpose of what I was going to be doing related to the cost. And this one, compared to the others, are not. Its output is not as much. It's a little bit louder, from what I understand. I think this one's 80 dB as opposed to 70 or 75 on the other ones, and yeah, I just couldn't justify the extra money for the kind of use I was going to be putting this particular unit through. It's going to be for my house. I'm going to be doing some updating, over the next couple years, and I'll need a high capacity air compressor to help me, do some of the bigger jobs that I'm going to be running heavier nail guns on, and having the ability to pump up tires and still be able to run an impact wrench with this. It will do that. That's not a problem. So it'll do all the kind of things that I need it to do. I'm not going to be doing any kind of spray work or anything like that, so it's not a big deal. But basically what I wanted to show was a semi-unboxing. Obviously it's out of the box already, but aside from the top and bottom piece of foam, this is exactly what you get. It comes in this bag, and the only thing that is not assembled on it is the wheels, which you can see I've obviously put on there. So when you remove the bag, it just won't have the wheels on it. That's the only thing. The wheels are not difficult to put on at all. It's basically the wheel, and then you have a bolt bushing assembly. I was able to do this with just a pair of crescent wrenches. Took about 30 seconds to put both of them on, and should be really easy. But first glance, it's a nice unit, which was part of the reason why I was looking at it. The only thing that I wasn't crazy about was the single outlet for the tools, but they do give you a couple of blank outs here and here, and I'll be using the front one. I've bought a additional chuck to be able to put on there. I've already put my T-tape on there, and some people may scoff at that, but it's the way that I like to do it with all my air stuff. Nice big knob, nice display on the gauges. They're probably not super amazing, but they'll get it done. And yeah, everything else looks pretty good. That they've got everything sealed off nicely, bolted on the side already. The handle came on it. I didn't have to do that at all. Yeah, there's not a whole lot more to say about it. Like, how you see it when you see it in Harbor Freight is how it is in the box, basically. And it also comes with an air filter, which I didn't really notice in the store. But yeah, as you can see, they want you to clean that regularly, or it'll void your warranty, which is only 90 days unless you buy a longer one, which I did not. I did not see a purpose for it. So yeah, what I want to do now is I'm going to go ahead and plug it in after I put the chuck in. I'm going to go ahead and just charge it up. We'll see approximately how long it takes to pump this guy up from 0 and get a relative idea of how loud it is. The microphone probably doesn't do it justice, but oh well. And sorry, I got the washing machine going in the background also. But should give us a pretty good idea of this thing's function right out of the box. Okay, well, minor update. For starters, I got the new chuck in here. That was a nightmare trying to get that blank out plug out of there. For reference, it's a 6mm Allen, and I had to take a lighter and heat the housing up slightly. You don't want to heat it up too much because I believe it's galvanized, and yeah, if you know anything about anything, heat and galvanize are not a good thing. So heated it up slightly and had to use my impact driver with a 6mm Allen adapter to break the glue or whatever it is that they used in there to get that blank out plug out. But that's in there. But yeah, as you can see, I've moved this unit to another location because apparently this thing, it either didn't like being on a 15 amp breaker or something, but it's dead right now. I plugged it in. It ran for maybe 5 seconds. It sounded like it was having trouble, and then it just died. Tripped the breaker, the whole 9 yards. So I had to reset the breaker. I unplugged the unit and went to turn it back on after a couple minutes, and nothing. So I reluctantly read the instructions, and it said if it does not fill to capacity, after being run, unplug it, let it sit for 10 minutes, then come back and plug it in. I did that. Still nothing is happening. So I went ahead and I took the liberty of seeing if maybe there was a fuse. On the outside, I can't find anything, and so what I did was I went ahead and I opened up the housing here. So now we're getting like a more in-depth review at this point. Yeah, this is our unit, and I went through all the connections here with my voltmeter. Tested the switch is fine. Tested the current coming in, current is fine. I did find that ground lug right there was loose, so I went ahead and I cranked that down, and I also checked the pressure kill switch here, which, let me see if I can get in there on it. It's upside down, but yeah, basically it's just a standard, there it is, 120 volt kill switch set to go off at 175 psi, on at 135 psi, so it maintains a minimum of 135 pressure. I think it's something with that. It's either seized up or not allowing it to complete the circuit for the motor. I'm probably going to try just testing it by taking that out of the loop and see if that's the problem. But either way, if it doesn't work with that, then this particular one is going back to the old Harbor Freight, and I'm gonna get another one and try this again. So yeah, that's the update for that. I will let you know what happens next. Okay, so this is number 2. I got everything back like I had it before, new chuck in there, all that good stuff. So yeah, we're gonna give it a try here. Let me make sure. Yeah, okay. All right, so here we go. Now that sounds much better. That's it, right next to it. I'm gonna walk to the end of the garage. It's not bad at all. I have a DeWalt pancake compressor, and it's probably as loud, maybe slightly quieter, but this isn't bad. Like it's kind of struggling to get up to pressure quickly. Getting up to 100. Take a step back here just in case something lets go. feel like it's getting too hot or overheating. I do smell a little bit of plastic, but that could just be the grease or something that was on the motor shaft, maybe. Woo! Yeah, that's hot. About a little over 4 minutes to get to 150 psi. It definitely is struggling getting to that higher pressure rating, but my guess is just because of the capacity, it probably doesn't have a whole lot of heavy output, and they probably compromised on that in order to keep the sound rating down and all that other good stuff. So, pros and cons. It looks like it's about to... There it is. So, yeah, I want to say about 6 minutes from zero to, fully pressured. It looks like it's maybe a little bit less than 175. That's probably just for safety. But there's not a whole lot of stuff you're actually going to be using 175 psi on anyway, so that's fine. Well, out of my sample of 2, I have a 50% success rate, but it's like anything with a production item, especially from China. I mean, there's not a whole lot you can expect out of that, I guess, but yeah, I think once it gets up and running, it'll be good. The kick on for that limiter switch was 35 psi. So in reality, the recovery time from max pressure to not is going to be significantly less. Hopefully, that's the hope anyway. It looks like it may be slowly losing some air there, but I'm not sure. Just from when I started talking a second ago, it looks like it's maybe crept down slightly. But who knows? I've also put on an extra component. It could have been part of the issue there, but yeah, I think if you can get this thing on sale like I got it for, there's a Insider Track Club deal for $219. Maybe it'll come up on sale at one of their parking lot sales or something that they do. I don't know. It's probably not a bad thing to pick up if it, if it fits your purpose. Like I said before, it's all about purpose. So if you don't want to have to deal with the oil, if you don't want to have to deal with, transporting it and worrying about keeping it upright, then maybe it's for you. Maybe it's not. But hopefully that sheds a little light on the info of what you may have been having some questions about. So with that, I will sign off. Thanks for watching, and leave a comment if you have any other input on this thing. Have a good one.